Easy win. Easy win. What did I tell you guys? I called a 4-1, and you know what? We got that 4-1 win. And I knew we were going to concede a goal because this team scores goals for fun, Molde. But you know what? We get that W. We keep it moving. We keep it moving. We keep it moving. We keep it moving. Ha! Anyways, you know what it is. It's EGTV. Let me get that. Bow, bow. There we go. Should I go with the red one? Bow, bow. Okay. Anyways, we keep it moving. We keep it moving. Ha. Anyways, cue that intros, ladies and gentlemen. You already know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know what? We won the game. We did what we had to do. We beat Molde. And you know what? We were supposed to win this game, and we did win this game. This is just another game, another Europa League game in the books. That's the third Europa League game in the books. Big up Zach in the comments section. You guys already know. So we beat Molde, and today's game was a game of two halves. The first half was cagey at best. And it opened up and started off with first we seen the team and we looked at it and we said to ourselves, the team that we put out was a good enough team for us to win. And it was a strong team. We played a lot of our first team guys, we played a lot of first teamers, and nobody expected nothing more than a win and nothing more than a big trouncing. And you know what? Leno started the game. So before the game, as you guys can see, Leno, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Mustafi, David Luiz, Kolasinac, Ceballos, Xhaka, Willock, Willian, Eddie Nketiah, Pépé. So to start off the game, we had ourselves one hell of a team playing that on that pitch. And we did not think for 1 second we were not going to win this game, right? So from the beginning, from the first second, we knew we were going to win this game, right? Just looking at the team sheet. So then what happened was, look at this. The game got kind of interesting after a while, though. It did get kind of interesting, and interesting games sometimes are not what you want to have. Sometimes you just want a boring 1-0 in the Champions League, in the Premier League, and if we were in the Champions League, you'd want more than that. But today, both Willock and Pépé and Saka showed that they were a level above everybody else. Willock could have had a hat trick. Pépé scored a goal. Saka came on and got some assists. Everything was happening. So first things first, let's see what happened. So two own goals started off, but first things first, Molde shocked us with the first goal in North London from outside the box, a screamer. Leno made the mistake. Leno made a big mistake to lead to that first goal. But then when that goal went in, a lot of people calmed down, heads dropped for a second, and then we got ourselves back together. Before halftime, we got our own goal to get us the first goal, and it went into halftime 1-1, right? So we went into halftime 1-1 after we scored. We scored in the 45th plus 1 minute of extra time in halftime, and it was a needed goal. We needed to go into halftime tied. And I was saying before, first half was very poor. Second half, we're going to have to pick it up and get our levels up, get ourselves up together. Everything, just get all your energy back, because the first half was quite poor. We cannot say anything else. It was poor. And this is me. And I'm a positive guy, and I'm saying this. It was a poor first half, right? This is the game recap, ladies and gentlemen. So then what happened was second half, the game changed. The game changed. And it changed after a couple seconds, right? David Luiz got a yellow card, which was not a yellow card. And then immediately after that, Joe Willock off a Xhaka pass, or was it a Dani Ceballos pass, that took a heavy deflection. Joe Willock shot on goal and led to an own goal from the defender, right? Sharif Sani got us the second own goal. So now we've given them a goal, and they've given us 2 goals. So I'll take that. So in the 62nd minute, it's 2-1. And at this point, fans are kind of calm. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is out. Cedric comes in the 63rd minute. Bukayo Saka comes in for Willian in the 64th minute. And immediately, Bukayo Saka makes an instant impact. Within 5 minutes, he gets in and he gets to draw a driven pass into the box from a cutback to Pépé. Pépé just slots it right in using his left foot, coming right onto it, slotting it right in from 12 yards out. And you know what? At that point, we're 3-1 up. Game's done. We have this in the bag and we're moving on. We're saying good night. Let's pack our bags up. Let's go. But you know what? It was not over yet. These guys tried to do some attacking changes. They brought off their striker, brought on another striker. They brought off their midfielders, brought off another midfielder. They tried to kind of chase the game. They had a couple chances, didn't really do much. At 3-1, they knew the game was over. We brought off Danny Ceballos and El Neni. Brought in El Neni. We brought in Tierney for Granit Xhaka, and then they kept making substitutions. And at the 88th minute, to cap off the night, the man who should have had 2 goals already, Joe Willock, gets a goal from a Nicolas Pépé pass. Now, that is what I like to see, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? Nicolas Pépé got himself a goal and an assist. There you go. And you know what? Joe Willock could have had 3 goals. He could have had a hat trick, but he did get himself 1 goal at the end of the day. And Bukayo Saka came in, and he was an instant impact. Willock showed he was about something today. Eddie Nketiah could have had a goal earlier in the game if it wasn't ruled offside, wrongly, I might add. And yo, what's good, bro?
Yeah, I was just watching the reaction. I just put out a post on my page and asked fans, like, what is your rating for Willock out of 10? So I think a lot of people are happy with this performance today.
Yeah, we'll get there. Joe Willock, I think a lot of people are happy about the Joe Willock performance. And you know what? They should be, rightfully so. Rightfully so, right? Because Joe Willock did perform well. And you know what? He did his thing today. But yeah, so the game versus Molde, as I was finishing up the recap of the game, so that's where the game ended. After Joe Willock scored, it was 4-1, game was over, and we knew good night, game in the bag, everything was done from there. And now, what did we learn from this game before we get into player ratings? Nitish, what did you learn from this game? Because I can't lie to you and say I learned so much, I learned this, I learned that. It was really one of those games where you can't say you learned a lot, but at the same time, you're happy we won, and you can't really complain. Can you?
Complain in the sense that obviously we do give them a bit of slack for you can say the lackluster first half. But overall, obviously, we were supposed to win and we got the job done. So no complaints with respect to that because we have overall gotten the job done. But there are a few small things that we can obviously highlight. And if they are improved on, I think then this team can actually, some of these players can actually be ready to be part of the first team as well.
Okay, we got a comment here saying Pépé masterclass. I don't agree, but I think Pépé getting the assist and the goal did help opinions change on him today when it came to the second half. What did you think about Pépé?
I say this all the time. He gets let go off because he scored a goal. Even in the last game, he wasn't that great, but because he ended up scoring a goal, he was let go off. Today again, he got till the time he got that goal and assist, he wasn't up to the mark. But once he got the goal and assist, all the fans are like chanting his name now. So people need to understand that yes, he did his job, but if it is against a bigger team, it is like a team like you can say a top 6 of the Premier League, he may really struggle to actually perform there.
Okay, so we're now top of the group, and there's a 3-point gap now between us and Molde. At this point, I feel like we're definitely going to win the group now. There's no competition. We have a goal difference of 7 goals. Everyone else is minus at this point, with Dundalk -5 at this point, not winning a game. So I think this is pretty much, the group is wrapped up now. There's no more competition in this group, and we can just move on from that topic. Now, going back to the players, we're going to go through each player. We're going to go through the player ratings in a second. What did you think of the players' performances, and who do you think, if you were to start with Leno, what did you think of Leno's performance?
I think he gets the blame for that goal to an extent. And overall, he wasn't tested that much because obviously we know the quality of the opposition. So I think overall he didn't have too bad a game, but the mistake, if he would have lost that game, he would have been getting a lot of stick today.
Yeah. So you're saying you're up 50-50 with that.
that error should not be happening. Not from a goalkeeper who's the first choice keeper of Arsenal Football Club. That error should not be happening at all.
Yeah, true. I think he got caught flat-footed. It's a common error. Things happen. I'm not gonna bin him for it. I'm not gonna be completely like saying, oh my God, Leno. I'm not gonna be a Martinez fanboy and criticize him constantly for it. I think these things happen. This is a common thing that happens, and you know what? He made a mistake. We move on from it. Do you agree?
I hope that I am just hoping he's done it twice. He's had two bad games in the Europa League, if you've seen. I hope he doesn't make a habit out of it. That is my concern.
Definitely hope he doesn't make a habit of it. I think these things just happen, man. Constantly happens to him. He's made mistakes in the past, and he's gonna make mistakes in the future. We just have to understand that these things happen in football, especially with a goalkeeper like Leno, who's not the best with his feet. We can constantly criticize him, but where do you think it's gonna get us as a fan base?
No, I have just made a prediction, like maybe at the start of the season, that because Arteta has let go of Martinez, whom I feel was the better keeper, I think at the end of the season, Arteta may have a problem where he may be in a similar situation as Frank Lampard and may reconsider the fact that he may need another goalkeeper. That could happen. That was my prediction. I get the feeling it could happen. So let's see what happens there. But I am it is also playing on the mind of the defense. When your goalkeeper looks a bit shaky, you know how things are. Both the defense and the goalkeeper are supposed to give each other confidence. So if he's making these mistakes more often, then it is a worrying sign. And Arsenal will have to react on it at some point of time.
Okay, so now let's just go to the comment section. So the guys in the comment sections are all giving Leno's fives. So you got a 5 here, 5 from Mr. Bungo, 5 from Train Hobo, 5 from E3. Leno gets a 5 from what do you call it, edits. Okay, so Leno gets a 5 all around. Now, this man, Said Kolasinac, before the game, we probably all didn't want to see him on the pitch. What do you give Said Kolasinac? Or should I go for this one? Said Kolasinac, for me, didn't do much. I think he just gets a honest 5 also. You can't give him anything great. I don't think he was amazing. He went forward a lot, but didn't produce much. That goal was wide open. All he had to do was touch it a little bit, and he skied it over the bar. So you know what? In my eyes, Said Kolasinac, I wouldn't say a terrible performance, but not great either. So I think you have to give him an even 5. What do you think?
I think that, as you said, that before the game we did not want to see him on the pitch. I think after the game also I did not want to see him on the pitch. So I think he was bad. I won't give him more than maybe a 3.5. That too, I'm being generous.
A 3.5.
Yes,
Wow.
he was bad. He's a simple tap in. Egal, that was a simple tap in into the goal. This guy is supposed to be a wing back. At least that simple free goal tap in he should be taking. If not anything, if he's not doing anything at all in the game, a simple free goal tap in. Anyone should be able to do that. He's not even done that. And his link up play was not just up to the mark. Luckily, Pépé has shown up, Willock has shown up, Eddie Nketiah has played one or two good passes. That is why we have won this game. People may have a bit of different opinions, but I did not like what I'm seeing from Kolasinac. I don't want him in our team anymore. If he can leave, that will be best. If we can sell him off or we can get rid of him, that will be great.
Guys are saying a 4 is generous and a 5 is too nice. So, and some people are saying 5. So you know what? Okay, we'll move on. He gets a, what did you give him? A 3 or a 2?
3.5. 3.5.
Okay, so on the other side, Ainsley Maitland-Niles played, I think, what was it, 64 minutes or how long did he play? He didn't play much, but I don't know how much. I have mixed feelings about his performance. I don't think he did much, really. He did have 1-2 opportunities to link up with Pépé early in the game, and he didn't play as much as he wanted to play. He got substituted before Pépé's goal for Cedric in the 63rd minute. So I'm giving him a solid 5, another 5. Like, we won the game 4-1, but some of these guys, they did not stand out. So a 5 is a fair. I think 5 is fair. What do you think?
Is it just me, or I don't know if other people in the chat agree as well? Was it one of his worst performances that I've seen in recent times? I don't know. Do you
No,
think so?
definitely not his worst performance. Don't
In
forget,
recent times, yeah.
no, nowhere near his worst performance. He's had
Okay.
performances where he's been destroyed as a right back.
Okay.
This defensively, he did not do anything to be given
Okay.
a bad score. The thing is, he didn't offer
Yeah.
anything attacking wise. That's why we would say give him a 5 or 4 or 6
But
between there.
yeah, I just want to ask you, but didn't you see that he was getting caught out a bit of position, like a few times at least? I could see that, and he didn't look himself today. It could be because of the fact that he's not played a lot of football. I am suggesting that I would probably give him a 4.5, but I'm just asking you, don't you feel that like he could have done way better? Because there are, based on what he's done last season, I think I maybe my expectations were a bit high from him.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. Based on the fact that we almost sold him to Wolves and there was uproar from the fan base, he is a fan favorite, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to perform. I don't think he performed as good as we would want him to, but we won the game, and you know what? He was a part of a defense that only conceded 1 goal in a 4-1 victory, and he played 62 minutes. So I don't think anything less than a 5 is too harsh. I think.
I'm as I said, I'm sticking with the 4.5 because I've given Kolasinac a 3.5, so I am happy with him getting a 4.5. Because see, the thing with respect to Ainsley is, I think he does offer more creativity than Kolasinac at times, but at the end of it, Kolasinac, I don't like him. I have backed him during the first season. Ainsley is still a player who is very versatile, and he has been contributing in many of our wins. So I think there is maybe a soft corner, you can say, and so he gets 4.5 while Kolasinac got a 3.5.
No problem. Understood. Now, next, what we're going to move on to is the center back positions and the guys in the back. David Luiz and who is it? David Luiz and Squadron Mustafi, right? So
Yep.
I'm going to start first with what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you David Luiz. So what did you think of David Luiz?
I think he more or less did his job. Yes, he has that weakness that he is defensively slow, and but I don't have that many complaints with respect to David Luiz. But yeah, again, the thing is, fans need to remember one thing: he's not going to be the quickest one. He's not going to be the most fearsome defender there. So I'll give him a decent 5. I think he was unlucky to be booked as well. I don't think that was a yellow card, as you also said. Don't think it was a yellow card, but I'll give him a 5.
Okay. David Luiz didn't put a foot wrong for me. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm giving him a 6. I feel like this is where we're going to disagree. I think David Luiz had a decent
Yeah.
game. I'm giving him a 6, maybe even a 7 based on his performance, in my opinion. I think you're very harsh on David Luiz based on this rating.
Okay.
And a lot of the people agree with me, 6s and 7s all around for David Luiz. Now, Squadron Mustafi. Squadron Mustafi had the most shots out of all the Arsenal players in the first half on target. Now, I'm joking, obviously. His 2 shots he took, he had the most shots, but they weren't on target. He had 3 shots in the first half, I think, from headers, or am I mistaken? Was it 2? One or the other. But I think he had a decent game, and I'm giving him a 6. I don't think. I think David Luiz was more at fault for the Leno mistake, but at the end of the day, it was a Leno mistake, and Xhaka was also at fault. There was a lot of people at fault in that goal. So 6 is all around for me for Mustafi. What are you saying?
See, I again, I'll say one thing that when I am not giving everyone a too high a score, so all my averages are coming around the same 5, 4.5, like that. So that is why I'm not being too critical of them, but my averages are coming around the same. So even with respect to Mustafi, again, I will give him a 5 as well, 5 for both of them.
Okay. Okay. So from now on, no more 0.5s. Either you have to go 6, 5,
Sure,
or 7. No more
sure,
0.5s. Okay. So
sure.
EBOS 6.5. Is it a 7 or is it a 6? Which one is it? 5.5, Mr. Bunga. Is it a 6 or is it a 5? You let us know. Now let's get out of the defense and let's go into midfield. First things first. I want to know what you guys thought about Ceballos, because Ceballos, I had mixed feelings about it. First half, I felt like he wasn't really doing much, and I felt like second half he was generous. That deflection was generous to him to get to Willock for the final goal, and all around, I feel like he didn't really do he didn't really do much to stop the second ball for that for the goal because the ball got to the man, and they were both Xhaka and Ceballos were in that midfield, and they let the ball get to the man. So they took the long shot, but at the same time, Ceballos, he went missing at times during the game. Don't you feel like he went missing during the game at times?
Definitely, that is the major concern. Even against Leicester City, I feel if we had a better game, we would have probably won that game as well. And today, I think I could see something very similar, and that is a concern. Danny Ceballos needs to step up because we have had him back again on loan for the second time. If he is actually serious about being an Arsenal player and wants us to sign him from Real Madrid, he really needs to step up. So, so I know you put me in that tough spot because you said no 0.5s. So I am caught between whether I give him a 5 or I give him a maybe a 6. But I think I'll go with the maybe 6 for him because he did create a bit of play. But then again, I want more from him. I am still not getting it. I want a 7 or an 8 every game from Ceballos. I'm not getting it.
Yeah, I agree with this comment here from Isaac Ibrahim. He said basic, and he was slow, so average 6. And then you got
Yeah.
another one saying class pass, what 6? Okay, so yeah, I'm giving him a 6 also. I genuinely think that is a fair assumption of how he performed. Now, Granit Xhaka, he was playing at points of this game. He was playing as a left center back. At points of the game, he was playing in the midfield in a 3. At points, he was all around the pitch, and he ended up getting substituted for Kieran Tierney at the end. So it goes to show you he was actually playing more of a 3 in the back.
Yeah.
In the back 3 as a left side of the center back and pushing into the midfield. I felt like he was heavily involved in the first goal that we scored. I feel like if we're going to give Danny Ceballos a 6, we have to give him a 5, because I don't feel like if Danny Ceballos had an average performance, Granit Xhaka had a less than average performance in my opinion, and he gets. Actually, what am I saying? He was integral to the first goal. I forgot about that for a second. It was his driving run that helped lead to that first goal. So that changes my mind now, and I have to reevaluate my thoughts from
6.
changing it from a 5 to giving him a 6, because he was integral to the opening goal. And yes, he made defensive errors, but he was also integral to our first opening goal. He was a captain of the night, and all in all, I think 6 is a fair result now that I think about it. You see, I changed my mind halfway. At the beginning, I was thinking 5, and then I changed my mind halfway to a 6. Now, let's see what people in the comments say. 5.6, I think they're talking about Ceballos. And then you got 5.9 from Mr. Bongo. Mr. Bongo, come on. We don't do 5.9s. 7, did not lose the ball once. You see, Ebos, I agree with you, but I also think a 7 is a lot more generous. We won the game 4-1. I get that. 7, really? I'm not sure. I would give him a 6. I feel like a 6 is fair because you got to save 7s and 8s for standouts. Do you get what I'm saying? Now,
Yeah.
here is a man who deserves some respect. He could have had a hat trick. He literally could have had a hat trick. He performed so well. These are Granit Xhaka stats. People are saying Granit Xhaka. So he could have had a hat trick. He had 2 own goals that he helped work and get those. He had an offside goal for Eddie Nketiah that was ruled offside because he interfered, which could have been if he was onside, it could have been another goal that fell to him or Eddie, right? And he finished off the night with his goal. Now, I love giving 10s to people, but can we really give him a 10? He didn't get 3 goals.
No.
He didn't get 3 assists. He got 1 goal, and he got 2 own goals that he was part of 2 own goals. I think a fair point to give him a 9. What do you think?
I'll give him an 8.
8. Okay.
Yeah, because I unlike you, I am not giving him 100% credit for the first own goal. It was more of Eddie's contribution as well. But yes, he was there and his presence mattered. I agree with that. Second own goal, obviously, yes, he had much more of an impact. That was his assist, as you can say. We both play FPL, so we know that was an assist to Willock. And yes, he scored a goal as well. But if you have seen, he's nowhere near a 9 or a 10 yet. This guy needs to improve. He's slowly improving, but there is room for improvement still. he can improve a lot. If he wants to get into the first team, if he wants to be the top player at Arsenal, I think he needs to improve. So I am giving him a realistic 8, and I think he can do more. He needs to do more to earn a 9 and a 10.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Now, there's comments here saying I give him a 9, by the way, guys. So there's a comment saying 8. Actually, I changed 9, 8.9, 7. Yo, what's up, Ahmed? Big up to Ahmed. And then, so now I gave him a 9, ladies and gentlemen. And I feel like he's the first man of the match candidate for the night. And then let's go to Willian. What did you think of Willian's performance before he got substituted?
Left hand side, he was invisible. Right hand side, he could do a bit. But if I'm giving Xhaka and Ceballos a 6, Willian is not getting anything more than a 6. I think that too because of what he did from the right hand side. He was the creator of the counter attack of the first goal. Before Xhaka got the ball, he passed it to Xhaka, and that is what set it into motion. So I am not giving Willian more than a 6. I think he's not the same player that he was at Chelsea. Maybe he needs a bit more time. He started off well, but I need to see more from him. Unfortunately, our problem is on the right wing. Both Pepe and Willian are struggling, but I think Willian has a better chance of actually doing more.
Okay, okay. And then next, what I'm going to go with is I'm gonna agree with you there. You gave him a 6, right? I'm giving him a
Yeah,
6. So, although I feel like if we had some, if we had our finishing boots on, we could have had a couple goals at the beginning of the game, and he did help. He did help create some chances early in the game.
yeah,
Now, one of the poorest performances on the pitch from Eddie Nketiah today. Unfortunately, he did not get on the goal sheet. He did have a goal disallowed, and I would say wrongfully disallowed. He was not offside. It was Joe Willock who was offside. His goal should have stood, but unfortunately, it did not stand, and that they gave the goal. They gave it offside because of Joe Willock's positioning, and I thought Eddie Nketiah's goal should have stood. I think it was harsh that he didn't finish some of those chances he had. He had a couple opportunities from Saka in the second half. He had a couple opportunities from Pepe and was it
yeah,
William in the first half. He should have had a goal, didn't score a goal. We won 4-1. He didn't really have a contribution in the game,
yeah.
and I would say all around give him a 6. Is that too generous?
It's too generous. I am being honest. He got one assist where he gets for that own goal, the first one, but 6 is generous. And I want to say that if any Arsenal fan who has seen the last two games of the Europa League, they will have no argument as to whatever that Lacazette versus Eddie. I think they do not have any argument left. Eddie has the work rate, no doubt, but his finishing is worse than Lacazette. And but yes, he is obviously younger than Lacazette, but that does not help the fact that we need goal scorers in front of goal. So if anyone was saying maybe a few games earlier that Eddie Nketiah should start over Lacazette, I think after watching the two Europa League games, this one and the previous one, they don't have too much of an argument there because his finishing is no better than Lacazette's.
Okay, I gotta address some of these comments. So the first comment is
Sure.
saying Pepe is better than Willian. Pepe needs more game time. If he had that amount of game time Willian had, he would be in much better form. I agree. He's saying Balogun should start instead of him. I somewhat agree. I somewhat disagree. I think Balogun, we can't put too much pressure on the young kid, but I would love to see him start in a Europa League game. What do you call it? He gets a 7. Man turned upside down and mop the floor with his hair. Poor gets a 5. Egal, generous. That's hilarious. Okay, so I like the guy. I have to downgrade my 6 to a 5, and I think that's more realistic. So I'm going to downgrade it to a 5. Okay, 4s and 2s and -10s is kind of harsh. That's kind of harsh. Okay, now let's go to. There are people saying Pepe masterclass. What are you guys saying? Pepe. There's people making fun of us saying he's found his
Yeah.
level.
Who's Pepe? Pepe has found his level.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that. I
What?
agree with that. Yes, I agree. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Pepe, if you put him in a Premier League game and you put him anywhere on the pitch, he looks lost. but at least in the Europa League games, he's scoring goals. Put him in any Premier League game at any position. We have seen him. Has he done anything in the season? He's been brought on as substitute.
Sheffield
He has
United.
started, didn't do much.
He scored a goal.
Yes, he did score a goal, but I'm saying overall play in the play. If you see his contribution, his link up play, it's not there. It's not there. He looks he looks way more effective in the Europa League because the opposition's level is down. His decision making is bad, as Isaac is saying. That is one of the problems with Willock as well. If you saw the game, first half he started off on the right, and then he was moved on to the left. That is showing that Arteta is also struggling to find the right place or position where Pepe can actually play and contribute more. But that being said, because he overall got the goal and he ended on a high for this game, I will give him a 7.
Okay. I'm not giving him a 9 because I feel like that's too harsh. That's too high. I think giving him a 7 would be too low for me because he did get a goal and an assist, and he did kind of help us make sure we solidified the game. And I'm gonna give him an 8. I feel like an 8 is a decent review of the game. He got a goal, he got an assist, and let's remember the first half. Even though we was poor, he was one of the shining lights in the first half. The balls that he was playing, the passes that he was getting, the creative spark was Pepe for that first half.
Yeah, so I have given him a 7, like you have given him an 8. It's more or less similar, quite similar.
Okay, Nitish, you are not a football expert. and then another guy here is saying this guy knows what he's talking about. So you got both sides of things. Okay, now let's go into the substitutes. Cedric came on. He passed it to an offside goal for Eddie Nketiah. Didn't really do much. Can we really rate his performance, or what do you want to rate his performance?
If I have given David Luiz and Mustafi a 5, I think I can. He's not played enough, but if I have to give him something, I'll just give him maybe a 4-ish, 4 or 4.5.
To be honest, he came in the 63rd minute, and we didn't notice that he even got substituted because the way the game was going. Bukayo Saka was the guy who made the biggest impact.
Right? Yeah, definitely. We can directly rate Saka if that is the case then.
Okay, so yeah. Elneny breaks lines. Yes, David. David's in the house. I see David popping up on every channel. Big ups to David. Now, next, we're going to go with one of the guys. Every single time he plays, he's just magic. Bukayo Saka. What did you think of Bukayo Saka?
Came on, got an assist, scared the hell out of them.
Yeah.
I think another good cameo, and he impressed more than some of the players that were there on the pitch for 60 odd minutes, who couldn't do what he did when he came on for like a slight, like an instant impact, you can say.
Yeah.
I think I am confused whether I should give him an 8 as well or a 7, but if we are going with the fact that we are considering Willock for man of the match, I'll give him a 7 for that reason.
Okay, because you gave Willock a 8 and I gave Willock a 9. Okay, so if I'm going Pépé 8, I'm giving Bukayo Saka in the small cameo that he had, almost contributed to 3 goals. He gets an 8 for me also. And that's really, really, really fair, I feel like, because he did have a hand in a goal that was disallowed. He did have a hand in a goal that was almost Eddie Nketiah's chance that he fluffed his lines, and he did have he did create Pepe's goal. So that's 3 goal involvements for a guy who came in on the 63rd minute, impacted the game, made a big impact in the second half. And you know what, Bukayo Saka, big up to him, because every time he plays, he just puts in work, this guy. So yeah, let's look at some of these guys. So they're saying Cedric 6, Cedric 4, Cedric 5, Cedric 7. Bukayo Saka 7, Bukayo Saka 8. Bukayo Saka should have scored 2 goals. Bukayo Saka 7, Bukayo Saka 7, Bukayo Saka 7. So yeah, so the last 2 substitutions were Kieran Tierney for Xhaka and Elneny for Dani Ceballos. I think those guys were only on for 10 minutes. So let's not even rate them. They don't really have much to go off of rating for. But man of the match, who does it go to? So I'm going to show you the candidates. Here's one of the candidates. Here's the other candidate. And here's the third candidate. So if you were to pick one, who are you going with?
I think you made it clear that it's got to be Willock, maybe because of the fact that based on the ratings, I think mine highest was for Willock, so I think I'll give Willock the man of the match today.
Okay, so yeah, Bukayo Saka and Pépé were good, but Joe Willock had a hand to do with all three goals that came. Three of the four goals that were scored, and you know what? Just big up to Willock. Willock could have actually squared a ball to Pépé for a second if he would have passed the ball to Pépé instead of turning and shooting. There was a lot of opportunities. He did a lot, and it was not amazing. Some of the stuff that he did, it was just basic. And you know what? Just doing the simple things sometimes will get you the man of the match. And you know what? A lot of the people agree. They're saying Willock has done more than Pépé. Willock edges it, says E-Boss.
And he was playing in an unfamiliar role. He's not a second striker. They were playing 4-4-2 as per what I'd seen. So because of that reason, I think Willock deserves a bit more credit than Pépé as well.
Okay, there you go. And the 4-4-2, they were not playing a 4-4-2. They were playing a 3-4-2-1. They were playing a 3-4-2-1. That's what it looked like at times, because Xhaka was slotting into the back three.
Yeah,
the formation kept changing. It was never fluid. It was never one formation throughout the whole game, right? So everyone's saying Joe Willock is the man of the match. Now we're going to talk about a couple of things. Okay, first things first. What did we learn today? I think one thing that we learned is that no matter what we do, no matter how we perform, there's going to be times where you have errors. And Leno had himself a shocking error that led to the first goal. And playing out the back, we're going to concede goals sometimes. We have the best defense. We have the best defense in the Premier League right now, but we just conceded against Molde. Do you consider this a shock, or do you just think it's going to happen throughout the rest of the season?
It's going to happen throughout the rest of the season. And I'll tell you one more reason why. When you have a goalkeeper, goalkeepers have this kind of feeling like Alisson does or Ederson does. If I make a mistake, I will play a quick long ball, claim an assist for a goal, and make up for my mistake. Leno doesn't give me that vibe. He doesn't show me that if I make a mistake, I will compensate for it by playing few quick passes or a few quick long balls for my strikers to rush into the box and claim a goal and make it like, if we're losing 1-0, make it 1-1. Leno does not give that kind of vibe or that kind of, you can say, that kind of dominance at the back. And he's been doing it consistently. He's been giving away some goals. In the last Europa League game, again, he was poor. Today, he's poor as well.
Look at this. One thing we learned is that the Arsenal fan base have the most reactionary fan base. That is somewhat true. We can't lie about that. Okay. I get it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, what did we learn about the academy kids with Willock, Bukayo Saka, and Eddie Nketiah? What do you think did we learn today about them? Because I think we learned. I think we learned that the academy players, Bukayo Saka is obviously the best player out of all of them, and that we still have some young up and coming academy players, and I hope that they can continue to make the step up. And Eddie Nketiah, Willock, they'll get their chances in the Premier League, but I hope they can perform better than they performed today when it comes to Eddie Nketiah, and Joe Willock maybe as good as he performed today. So one thing, the academy is finally starting to produce some decent players, and we can be happy of what we're producing in that academy today, right? And finally, we spoke about Pépé already. Pépé versus Willian. What did we learn about Pépé versus Willian on the right-hand side today?
I think after some games, the fan base will maybe realize that neither one of them maybe is good enough to be a right winger. It may be the case. I am seeing positive signs from Pepe, but then I am also remembering the fact that the level of opposition is a bit lower. If he can do it in 2 to 3 consecutive Premier League games, I think he'll silence everyone. All the people who don't want him around, he will silence them. But he needs to at least do it in 2 to 3 consecutive Premier League games. Willian has done that regularly at the Chelsea in Chelsea, but he started off positively. If he is able to pick up, then it is a competition for that place on the right wing. Unfortunately, was there an injury to Reece Nelson, or why wasn't Reece Nelson featured? That is another question that comes to mind with
Yeah,
respect to that.
I think he wasn't in the matchday squad at all. So that I have no idea. What about this comment? He says what he learned
Yeah.
is that Mustafi and Kolasinac are finished at this club.
I said this in your previous stream as well. I don't want to waste an Arsenal number on these guys. Seriously. Mustafi, maybe we need him, but Kolasinac, please, we it's just an insult to defending if Kolasinac calls himself a defender. He can be a wing back to an extent, but defender, a full back, definitely not. It's an insult to defense.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. That was a quick little video. Actually, it went for 40 minutes. I thought it was quicker than that, but that was a quick 40-minute video. And you know what? Big up to everybody watching. Big up to all you guys in the comment section. Let me get this Mustafi guy off the screen. And you know what? Big up to Nitish for coming on. Thanks for coming on, my friend. Hold it down.
Sure.
And you know what? Big up to all you guys watching. I'm done for streams for tonight. I'm going to be back tomorrow with 2, maybe 3 videos. I'm going to be going on the Arsenal Lounge to do a video, a preview show. I'm going to be doing a late night stream talking about all the matchups with bring on City fans, Liverpool fans, everybody. All the fans are welcome. And we're going to do an Arsenal versus Aston Villa preview some point tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Check it out. We're going to have a bunch of streams. Plus, we're going to be possibly on the Football Terrace also. So yeah, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm out of here. EGTV, we're out, baby. Not yet, though. 1 second. We're not out yet. Not out yet. You can't get rid of us yet. I got to drop that. And right about now. What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and hit that notification bell while you're at it, ladies and gentlemen. EG